Now, still in that sector, we need to have a strategy that holds the growth of debts. Tough decisions have to be taken, poor decisions have to cease. That's the caution from energy think tank Africa Center for Energy Policy as it talks tough on government's decision to increase energy sector levies. Executive Director for the think tank, Boakye, has this morning been reacting to government's measures for the energy sector. Speaking on the Super Morning Show a while ago, he cautioned or he questioned why government is taking the risk to export power.
Yeah, I think for the energy sector, it is difficult at this point to really push for raising more money because the tariff has already gone up. So to raise more money, then it means you have to get the public to pay more.
Okay.
But what is crucial at this point is for us to have a strategy that actually freezes the debt accumulation, stop us from accumulating more debt.
Okay.
If you are paying $100 million a month for energy sector challenges, that is not sustainable. So how do you deal with that to ensure that you can halt, the growth of the debt in the energy sector, and then the ESLA then becomes relevant in dealing with the outstanding debt? It's what we really have to do. So tough decisions have to be taken. Which power plants we have to cancel immediately to see if you have to pay a consequence of $100 million is better than paying $1 billion in 5-6 years, down the line. So those are the decisions that are required. But most importantly also, poor decisions have to cease, because we are still taking decisions that are creating more debt. For example, the minister talks about excess gas supply. What we know that our own gas, we are not able to consume our own gas, and yet plans are afoot to import gas through LNG, which is estimated to cost over $800 million every year if it becomes excess supply. So how do we stop some of these decisions from, maturing? It's the key problem we have right now. Ensure that there's transparency in procurement of fuel. In the power sector, fuel is quite significant. If you have a power plant consuming about $4 million in 2 days, and you're not transparent about how you procure it, if you add a cent on each even barrel, that is significant, in accumulating more debt for the power sector. So transparency across the board is important, which is not happening at this point. And we need to improve those to ensure that we are not adding more to the debt. That is the only way out. Because if we don't find a way around, debt accumulation, the ESLA may have to even go up further, to ensure that we're able to repay. Because $100 million a month is just not sustainable.
So how does the debt accumulate in the first place?
So you have signed up to PPAs, you have signed up to take-or-pay gas commitments. So you are going to be paying whether you need the power or not. You're going to be paying whether you need the gas or not. So that's why I'm saying that you have to have a way to stop that, to ensure that we're not accumulating more debt.
Yes. So now that we know that this is where we are, don't we need to look at, and I remember one of the tweeters said that we should look at ways of generating a profit, so entering profitable ventures. Isn't it advisable to go heavy on industrialization so that we can use that excess capacity?
Yes, I think we have made that point. I mean, the tariff at this point doesn't encourage that speedy rate of entry into the industrial sector, because if industry is paying about 25 cents per kilowatt hour, you are competing with tariffs in China and in the rest of the world around 6-7 cents for industry. So it could be cheaper for you to send your pineapples to China, put them into boxes and bring them back in, and still be cheaper than what you produce in Ghana. So those are the fundamentals that we have to check. And we have proposed that even for electricity, for businesses, you don't need to put VAT on it. You could take the VAT, bring the tariff down, so that people will be encouraged to produce.